at you with another episode of The Crossover with your boys Ravi and B. This week we're going to get into a little discussion about our favorite nicknames over the years in the NBA. It's been kind of a slow time this week, but we also want to give a little, step in with our first topic, which is my boy Russ Westbrook. I think Jalen calls him Furious Styles. You could just call him, Russell in this case, Ravi. And he's been on a tear lately, like we've never seen in a long, long time, man.
Big Russell,
man. So, what's your thoughts, man?
Oh man, I mean, 5 triple doubles in 6 games. I think he's at 7 total for the season. Mm-hmm. His stretch from January forward has been just absolutely incredible to watch. Just looking at his games, I was reading a stat today, and his games through January without Durant, he's 28, 4, and 6 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Since February, without Durant, he is 34, 10, and 11. I'll repeat that, 34, 10, and 11. I mean, those numbers are absolutely incredible. And when we're looking at, the difference between his triple-doubles as opposed to, let's say, a Jason Kidd triple-double, Jason Kidd will get you 12 points, 15 assists, 11 boards. Westbrook is getting you 30 to 40 points, 17 assists, and 12 boards.
I refer to it as the cheap triple-double, right? It's like, you're getting a little discount on that triple-double. You get, your squeeze past there with the 10 assists, which is good. But you get, 12 points, 11 points, the points are the ones usually squeeze you by and stuff like that. True.
Yeah, he's getting a definitive triple-double.
Well, we know Russell's not going to pass him the points, so you know that for sure is going to be in double digits big time. I said something a few years ago, and I know you were interested. I know it was a little provocative when I said at the time, maybe. It was a few years back when OKC was heading to the finals, and I said at the time, there was some debate. Who should get the ball at the end of the game, Durant or Westbrook? And everyone said, well, heck, of course Durant should get the ball. He's the best player on the team. And I said to you guys at the time, are you sure that's the best player on the team? And this even went harder than the team. I said, are you sure that's the best player on the team? Everyone's like saying, whoa. It's like, well, I'm just wondering. I know what my eyes were telling me.
And I see where you're going with this, and I think you're building up to a Clear Huxtable let the record show moment right now. And I think
segue.
I would compare Durant to Durant is Spider-Man. He's Peter Parker. He's Spider-Man. He'll get the job done, but he gets it done in a certain way. Westbrook is straight Venom. Westbrook will get it done. He don't give a damn who he has to go through to get it done. And that's the best way I can sum that up.
That's a cool analogy. I might give you that. Fair enough. Here's my thing. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I said it in the playoffs last year. Whenever there's a definitive moment in OKC history, in this case, in their short time as OKC, not Seattle, as OKC, I've found more times than not, and I can only think of the Mavericks time when Durant hit the winning shot in this case. I think on the way to the finals that year. It was game 5 or so when he hit a winning shot. I can't remember whether it was game 5 or game 6 against Dallas. I believe that was the year they went on to the finals. But more times than not, the definitive moments in their playoff runs where they found a way to win a big game or a big moment, usually end up having to do with Russell Westbrook, not Durant. I can think arguably a half a dozen Russell Westbrook playoff moments already. In this case here, where he saved their bacon. Just last year, he had 3 alone. The Memphis series in game 1 or 2 when they're on the ropes. In this case, we had to steal at the end of the game or something like that. To keep them in, I think, the overtime, I think. Then he had the 40-some-odd point game in the finals against Miami, which was
Well, that's exactly where I was going with it. Yeah, just looking at that final series as a whole. Who's the one OKC player that showed up
right,
there?
Harden was nowhere to be found.
Harden was nowhere to be found. Durant was nowhere to be found.
Ibaka wanted no part of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Those guys. When they got the brightest of lights on them, Westbrook was the only guy that looked like he was ready for that moment.
I thought you were gonna give a Heat pun, but you left it alone. Okay. I digress. But you're right. In this case, when the Heat, I almost said it myself. When the lights get brightest, certain guys, we saw it last year in San Antonio. We were sitting there, I don't think you were with us, but the rest of the guys, we came back. I think we were watching some movie. I can't remember what it was. We ended up watching the last bit of the game 6 against San Antonio at Jack's. We're watching it. Watching it beside some guys, a couple guys beside us I think one guy's a Spurs fan, the other guys were OKC fans. And you're watching Westbrook just dominate and keep his Oklahoma City in it. At the end of the game, they give the ball to Durant. Durant bounces off his foot and it goes into overtime. And it's like you're sitting there going, you're the dude, man. You're bouncing the ball off your foot before you make the move. I'm not saying he doesn't hit big shots, but I find in this case here, in certain situations, I get very concerned about Durant's psyche when it comes to certain things. And like Westbrook, as you said before, has no fear, none whatsoever. And
absolutely none.
Look again, Clippers series, Game 5, pretty much, he wore out Chris Paul when the series was done, and it cost, obviously, Chris Paul outsmarted himself. I already discussed that. But the other part of the equation was that Westbrook was making life a living, what, for the last 2 minutes of that game, and causing the turnovers and creating a lot of havoc in this case. For Oklahoma City to not only survive but to win that game and obviously turn the series around and win it. Even Tony Parker says all the time. He says that Westbrook is a load. Like that's the one dude that just that is just fatigues you when it's said and done. Because he never ends. He never stops.
He never stops. I mean, and I think when you see Westbrook on a fast break, before he gets to that rim, I just close my eyes and say a little prayer for that rim because he's coming with the thunder.
The fury,
see, I got it in there, bro.
You got it in there. Let's leave it on that note, man. So, one of my favorite players to watch. Love me some Westbrook.
And I think, just to close, I think Westbrook has a good mix. Like what makes him very unique is his good mix of skill, size, skill, and athleticism.
Well, I think that, and also a third aspect is his desire. Right?
Yeah, you can't count out his heart.
Right, because we know someone used to play in this seat had the skill and the athleticism.
Oh, Brian.
I won't go there, but you need the third element as well too. That's all I'm saying.
Most definitely.
All right, man. Let's move to topic number 2. This is what we're looking to kind of discuss today. So we were mulling around. It's like let's have some fun with this week, and we were discussing this idea for a while of nicknames. Because we were saying one day as we were sitting around chatting, I think we were watching a game or something like that, or on the phone, or on text, I should say. We were saying there's no good nicknames really anymore. Like, guys
the nicknames, the nicknames these days are so lazy. Like D Wade.
It's like
he obviously has the Flash nickname as well with suits. But nowadays it's just like the first initial and the last name, and hey, that's his nickname.
Or just the initials and their number, right? CB4. Blah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
like CP3. It's like.
Back in the day, nicknames used to mean something.
Well, yeah, it used to show a bit of the character, a piece of the character of the player in some ways as well too. That to me is the best type of nickname.
It was functional.
Yeah, when it said something about you as a player, like it says, okay, if I heard what this is, I know what this dude's about.
Yeah.
And KG, like there's, even though he has some really good nicknames, though that
Oh, he's definitely on the list. Big ticket.
Yeah. So let's go with this. Give me some of your favorite ones of all time, man.
Well, I'll get the best corporate nickname out of there. Off the bat, that's Air Jordan. We'll get that one out of the way.
Right. But there's an example, right? It describes easily what you're talking about. You already know it. You can envision it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Now, you got Magic. Everyone. A lot of people think if you look at his birth certificate, Magic is on there because no one calls him Irvin.
Yeah, Irvin.
No one calls him Irvin. Sean Kemp, the Rain Man.
Yes.
He's bringing the thunder when they were back in Seattle. It personifies his play as well as the city, which I love that nickname.
Yeah, true.
You look at his backcourt teammate, Peyton, the gloves. Again, lockdown defender, personifies his game.
Exactly.
Elijah the Dream.
The Dream, yep. And the Dream Shake.
The Dream Shake.
That came with it.
Exactly. No extra charge for that one.
No doubt.
You got David Robinson, the Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another functional nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into some of the the guys from the late 90s, early throughout the 2000s. Tim Duncan, the big fundamental. Vince Carter, Air Canada, half man, half amazing. Vinsanity. He had a whole slew of them. One of your favorites, Allen Iverson, the answer.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think personally, I'm on record saying it's the best nickname ever.
Boy.
I'm saying, I just put it out there. I don't know. You tell me, folks. Put your comments below what you think is the best nickname ever, and give me some of your favorites. But to me, the answer is just like simple, quintessential. It's like there's nothing else to say.
The answer.
The answer.
I always like Stevie Franchise.
Yeah, it was cool. But you see that thing, but I was all right. I did like that. It was pretty good.
Yes.
I'm gonna take it back. Some there's some interesting ones. I'll go with some old heads. So some of you old heads, pre-Magic and Bird. I'll go back and give you some ones that I liked in the past. The Iceman, George Gervin. One of the slickest, coolest nicknames ever. The Iceman. It's like, they don't get much colder than that, man. More puns, man. What is it? So Iceman, proper nickname. Another one I used to love back in the day. Jamal Silk Wilt. So another one, Smooth. Silk Wilt. It's fantastic, So yeah, those are a couple of ones I can think of. Let me see what else here.
You got Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Pearl Monroe, exactly. Another fantastic nickname. So Action Jackson, Phil. So yeah, all sorts of different ones came up. I'm just right now, my mind's slipping who else he had at that time that had some really good nicknames. But
Vinnie Johnson, your boy, the microwave.
The Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. Yeah, the microwave. Microwave is a nice one. Fantastic nickname, man. No doubt, heats up in a hurry. And moving around. It's important. You said the answer. Moving up. Shaq had a whole bunch of them.
We'll get to Shaq in a minute because he has his own separate category. We couldn't group him in with just the regular guys.
No.
How can we forget Run TMC?
Run TMC as a collective, a fantastic.
As a collective nickname, but you don't see a lot of that creativity anymore.
No, Splash Brothers is the one these days. So.
Well, the Splash Brothers, but aside from that, everyone else is the Big Three. Yeah. If I hear another Big Three, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, the Big Three's kind of watered down now.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let's get a little creative with it.
But there's some good ones. Mailman was another fantastic one. I thought was
the Mailman. You had Dominique, Human Highlight Reel.
Oh, jeez.
They
call it the Highlight Factory. That's how big your name is, guy. They rebranded the stadium after you. They're about to put a statue up too, but damn, the Highlight Factory they call it, guys, just based off of your name.
Exactly.
That's when you know you're big.
You had Larry Legend.
Yeah, Larry Legend.
That's another big one.
Yeah. It's some really good ones. NBA's always had some really good nicknames, but I think right now there seems to be a bit of I think the creativity's been pulled out a little bit for some of the nicknames. These days there's not a lot. Fear the Beard is kind of a phrase. I'm not sure it's a nickname per se. But
that's Houston's relentless marketing campaign pushing Harden for MVP. That's all that is.
Hey, he had that before that. I don't know. On a side note, he might be your MVP, but I'll leave that alone.
Hey, no, I'm not discrediting his MVP candidacy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my goodness. I mean, let his play speak for itself, Houston. I mean, every time he has a big game, they're tweeting something out. I mean, they called him King James the other day. I know. I was like, are you serious? Get out of here.
I was highly offended by that tweet, but I'll leave that alone.
Another great nickname, though, King James.
Yeah. No doubt.
Clyde the Glide.
Clyde the Glide. Oh, geez. So let's get to to wrap this up, man. The Diesel.
The Diesel. There
What's
we
go.
Number
Diesel
one.
Diesel nickname, man. Who came up with all sorts of them. But just for him, for himself, not for you.
For me, I personally like the Diesel. Out of all the names he's given to himself over the years, is my personal favorite. I love the Diesel. He had, and I think the rest of them are just hilarious though. The Big Shamrock when he was in Boston, the Big Shactus when he was in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Superman obviously when he was down in Orlando.
Yeah.
And how could we forget the Big Aristotle?
That's my favorite. I'm sorry, something about that just makes me laugh. It's like a higher level of thinking, the Big Aristotle. I love that.
I just like the delivery of it because if you remember, this was back in 2000 when he got the MVP, and he gave himself that nickname at the MVP press conference. So the actual delivery and the moment of when he did that, that's classic.
Timing is beautiful.
That's classic stuff.
Yes. Oh, man. So, there you have it, man. Folks, give us your favorites, man, because there's so many great nicknames over the years. World Be Free. Man, change his name to that. But there's a whole bunch of them over the years.
Shout out to Robert Parrish, the Chief.
The Chief. The Chief. So, yeah, give us your favorite nicknames. Who you like from the modern day, like today's game, who you like from old school back in the day. And I'd love to hear your comments about that. As usual, subscribe above, man. And place your comments below. Ravi, where can the good folks find you, man?
You guys can find me at Mr. Ravi_Porvita.
All right, and you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short for RM, folks. All right, man. Take care. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
We out.